All right, gentlemen. It's yeah. I think one person avoided exhaustion. I think that was Randall, wasn't it?
That
He
was
left
me.
Yeah, 'cause
party early.
he left early after the fiasco with the drink.
Mm-hmm. Um, does anyone be brave enough and recap from last week? Who remembers what happened?
I can.
Sure.
We had to go for Shimigami had a gentleman we had to find outside of the city in this kind of like a tower, and he was been missing for days, and he was going to go look up on him. So we went and did that after we met up with Josh in the morning and found out his brother had ran away, gone south of the city. After we picked up Josh first, and we found out that information. And Josh had some backstory, which I'm not going to butcher. He was a little bit more of that, and then we went to Shimigami's mission and found undead in the house and underground. And Gala had a freak out over all that. And then we found out that he had been trapped in there because he dug too deep, and there was a wall we couldn't get past that was deep magic to get through it. And Shimigami said, just close it off and don't mess with it. And it's kind of a local mystery that of why it's there. No one knows why or how that happened and why it kind of sunk. And then we went into a bar. Afterwards, we went into a bar. No, before we went to the bar, I think what's your name? Your character's name? Doug Bass tried to withdraw money from the bank and found out that he was cut off, and he had a letter saying return what you'd stolen, and you had told everybody that you had returned the ring that you had stolen. And I think Josh looked at you, not Josh, Randall looked at you weird. The rest of us didn't notice. Talking about your ring, and until you return that, you have no access to your money. And you threatened the guy almost with death, and Shimigami had to step in to mediate it, calm the situation down. And then we went to a bar where we overheard a conversation with Gnome, I believe it was. And was it a gnome?
This guy, halfling.
Yeah,
halfling.
Halfling and the Simonder was there.
Yeah, and Simon, thank you. And your, I want to call it your shark, your loan shark, Verso. Forgot his true name. Golfa came in, and the guy owes him money, and Golfa ended up throwing the feather in the flame. And then we had talked about going to help him with it, which Gala's gonna decide not to actually as we get into it. So I'm gonna back off from that. So that's the recap from everything I remember.
That's an excellent summary. So, Gala, well, sure. There we go. Have inspiration. Doug usually does these, so maybe take note, Doug. There we go. Do have inspiration for a recap by people falling over themselves next time. So, yes. So Rafok, who's the guy who had dealings with Golfer and agreed to sell the feather to Lord Signmonder for the King's Games, which are getting ever closer. And this was the feather that was burnt to a crisp. Help me out, Doug. We had this the other night. How do you pronounce it? Coatl?
Which one? Quetzal.
Quetzal feather. There we go. Yeah. And Lord Signmonder presumably wants to use it for the upcoming King's Parade. A nice addition to his mount, Miss Ivory. And Rafok says, "Oh, okay, guys. Well, let's get going. Let's go meet Grandmother. I mean, you guys have kindly raised the 200 gold pieces that I think she's going to ask for. And once again, I'm not going to touch any of the money. All right? I'm going to be completely neutral in this. I'm trying to be as honest and upfront as possible, just to get out of this bind with Golfer. And I think, Randall, you've had some similar dealings, and I'm assuming you can appreciate the dilemma that I'm in.
Real quick. Guys, beyond 20s having issues, so some saves and stuff you have to right click and then click flat roll. Just left clicking will just pull up the description.
Okay.
Randall will bonus action unmute himself because I just
Yep.
realized I was unmuted. I was muted the whole entire time.
Yep.
Randall will go and acknowledge. Yes. Go for anyone that I can get out from Gopher's thumb is maybe revenge enough.
Well, he's got quite a few people under his thumb. That's a tall order. But hey, maybe I can be the first.
It would be nice. Nice to knock him down a notch.
Right. Well, let's go. I'll take you across to my Granny Perla. All right. Follow me, guys. Gayla, you following? You said you had some issues, or
Yeah, we're gonna go. Well, I'm not gonna. I was more involved last time. This time I don't want to be involved, and I'm kind of skeptical. So, anyways, let's
Okay.
go ahead.
so hang out in the background. Okay.
Yeah, because the Lord Simon was mentioned, but I'm gonna back off from that.
Yeah. Well, Lord Simonda was in the Luckily Tavern, and Refok just babbles as he leads you down into the South District over here, which is the poorer part of the walled city, better than the seabed and better than the shanties, but still a relatively poor area. And okay, guys, so we're almost there. Let's just say that my granny doesn't like me. And I'll introduce you, but I'm going to ask one of you other guys to do the talking. So who's a good talker amongst you?
Pretty decent.
All right. All right. Okay. So, Bess, I believe. And you come to what presumably is his grandmother's door. And, oops. Rafa taps on the door. And this lovely old lady opens it, looking like this. And she says, "You little shit! What is it you want this time?" I'll whacks him on the head with a cane. "You degenerate gambler!" Is that Granny? I bring friends. I don't care. You're borrowed money from me. You're a degenerate gambler. Bash, 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 bash. And who are you lot?
We're I guess estranged associates of that asshole you're beating there. I believe he's conned some of my friends here to give up a total of 200 gold to buy a quetzal feather from you.
Oh, no. Now, I do indeed have the feather, but since you've bought this degenerate gambler, the price has gone up to 300 gold pieces.
What if I smack him around for you and you get a watch? Can we keep it at 200?
Did you not just see what I did to this little shit with my cane? I can beat him up plenty by myself, thank you very much. And if you want to buy this feather from me, 300 gold pieces.
You see, if it wasn't for us, you wouldn't have had a chance to lay that beat down on him. So that's kind of us doing a favor for you. So let's keep it at 200.
I'll make a persuasion check, Bess.
Oh, wow.
Oh, look, I know this little shit, and I know where the little bits and cons he's done. I'm suspecting he owes you money, so 400. No, I do it 350. That's the 250. That's the best I could do.
I'll look to the group. Listen, I think this is a con, so I'm not gonna throw any money in. But y'all go with 250.
If we can actually
I
afford
gotta
that.
just say, I don't think I'm in part of this either.
Rafik says, "Randall, come on, Randall, just another 50 gold pieces. Otherwise, I'm never going to get out of the thumb of Golfer. Please."
Can I roll insight check
Sure.
to see how genuine he is at this moment?
Sure.
Hearing the talking from the other crew, still thinking that this is a con.
Okay. Tough to get a read on him. He seems desperate. Come on, Randall, just 50 more gold pieces. That's all I need.
Well, friend, I don't have any more money.
What do you have? Anything?
Just the clothes on my back, sir.
And what about you Gala? You're dressed nicely. You must have a bit more money.
I'm sorry. I really want no more part of this.
Oh, what about you, Mr. Vinnick? You seem like a nice elderly man. What do you say?
First of all, I'm very insulted that you would call me a elderly man. Why would
Oh,
you think I'm an elderly?
Well, the wrinkles and the grey hair, but I don't know. Maybe
This is so offensive. This is so offensive. If I had the money to give to you, I would be compelled not to because you're insulting to me. I am sorry, I cannot help.
Oh, this has gone south quickly. Do I even need to bother asking you, Shinigami?
This is not one of my tasks. This is out of my purview.
Oh, Granny, please, just sell it to them for 200 gold pieces. Please. Granny starts whacking him a few times with his cane. All right, you little shit. Hand over the 200 gold pieces and I'll give you the feather. And...
Wait, now. I know how nobles can be tricky with their words, but I was not born yesterday. Show us the goods first.
Oh, of course.
Is it even real? Someone having two of those very rare feathers, I'm highly skeptical.
Well, it's a family heirloom. We're lucky enough as a family to get these together. My sister gambled hers away, and I kept mine for dire situations like this. My grandmother got one as well, but I understand your suspicion once again. Not gonna touch the money. Granny waddles back into the house, brings out a feather that looks remarkably like the feather that was burnt in the Lucky Leak Tavern. Like this. All right. So here's the goods. That'll be 200 gold pieces.
I'll, if
Anyone know
every...
what it looks like?
Yeah.
Anyone nature or anything else would hazard a roll?
Sure, if somebody wants to have a closer look at it.
I have history. I don't think that really helps.
No.
Hmm.
Nobody?
Anyone got animal handling or
This is definitely a nature.
I'm not proficient in it.
What is a druid?
We may buy it at this price, but just be advised that if it's found to be a forgery, that you'll hold the wrath for this.
Well, you know where I live, so yeah. Of course, if it's a fake or it's some scam, or I can tell you're suspicious. Then come right back here. Yeah, I'm not going anywhere. I'm an old lady. So we have a deal? 200 gold pieces?
One more time.
Time at
Yep,
disadvantage.
just an old lady. She's just an old lady.
well, I should do that too side too anyways. Just let me roll it out there.
Disadvantage, of course, because you're exhausted.
And it didn't go. There it goes.
Seems genuine.
Alright, cool. I just
But
sliced the money off what I was listing.
And the fact that you know where
almost.
she lives, kind of helps convince you.
I will motion to Randall because I believe he has the 200 gold because he convinced some of people to put into the pot.
Yep, and he'll hand over there, but then he'll hold out his hand for the feather,
And she hands you the feather.
and he'll
Oh,
hand her the gold.
And Raphael says, "Oh, thank you, Grandma. Thank you very much." He whacks him on the side of the head. "That's the last I want to hear of you, you little shit." All right. Now, as we agreed, these are Lord Simonder's words himself. He said to buy it for 515 gold pieces. So all we need to do now is take it back. I need 100 odd gold pieces for Golfer. So this is a straight 200 profit situation for you guys. Once again, not touching the merchandise. So, it's time to visit Lord Simonde.
Real quick, we're at the location. We're at 108, and it's a place I want to go and talk to someone or ask somebody a question there. It's the Temple of Magic.
Sure. Well, we can take a little detour. Sure.
Yeah, just right across the street while we're here.
Sure.
So, there's a guy that works there. The highest clerk, the clerk that works there is Guinea Lee, and they sell like magical wonders. They sell services like magical services. I have a question if there is one available.
The better place to go for this type of stuff is the Emporium of Marvelous Rarities. They have magical items for sale, so that's what you're looking for.
Okay, we'll do that one later then.
Number 14 on
fair.
that. So, we go there, absolutely, but that's the place if you want to buy stuff. That's a far better shop. All right. And head back along Old Man's Road. Through across Grancrest Chains. A bit of a delay with lots of traffic of this type of stuff, with trade goods coming in and out. And to get to Lord Simonder's around like this. All right. And you arrive at Lord Simonder's.
Well, since I know Lord Simonder, I'll say, Randall, I'm welcome here often. Come with me. No one will bother any of us here. And I'm going to go ask for Lord Simonder, an audience, and say, Gala's here along with, and I'll mention the halfling's name, which I closed the window, so I don't remember his name.
Rafuk.
Rafuk.
1 second. So you're going in with Rafuk as well?
Yeah, not the whole party, but I'm just announcing that's who we're coming in, because we don't just walk in the door and say, "Hey, how's it going, buddy?" We have to tell his servants. I'll make an audience kind of thing.
Sure.
For a lord of a house.
Go around and look for Rafuk. He's not there.
Randall, did you lose your friend?
Don't think he was here a while ago. Would I have caught him slipping away at any point in time?
The most likely person was in fact you, Randall. Yeah.
I was about to say I have a 19 passive perception.
19's good. But however you look at it, you look around for Rafuk and he's nowhere to be seen.
And Kayla would just shake her head. Kind of giggle. Well played. And I'll look at Shimigami and be like, well, we know where she says she lives.
To be fair, it was Lord Simonde that actually wanted the feather. Perhaps he still hasn't changed his mind.
She'll say, he didn't know we were involved. He didn't know the situation. I mean, there's nothing we can do to help. I don't think now. I can't get him a feather, and looks like we've been conned.
Well, the feather's right here.
You've got the feather.
Oh, you have the. Oh, he had the feather still.
Oh yeah, Randall was going to give that away.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. All right. Well, then, if you have the feather, let's just go on in, I guess.
You head on to your future captain, I guess, Lord Simondur, and he says, Miss Gala, always a pleasure to see you, lass. What business do you have? And I have a task for you to do after this as well. But you go first, lass.
We were at, and I'll mention the bar we were at, and we overheard you there looking for a feather from a halfling to adorn your horse. Was that true?
Lass?
A coatl feather.
Oh, coatl feather. Oh my goodness. And I was at the bar, was I?
Said apparently you were. I guess I was mistaken, sir.
Now, you'll know better than anyone, Gala. Of taking you under my wing. You're going to be a knight of the crown before you know it. Did I perhaps happen to greet you in the bar?
Come to think of it, why would you be in a bar in the first place?
I've been known to frequent the Lucky Leap. But answer my question last. Did I greet you?
No, you did not.
Did you not think that was suspicious?
I often think of myself the center of the world, and everyone notices me and sees me, and I guess I just was off my game. But yeah, you are right.
I think you've been had, lass. And this is the feather? How much was I said to have prepared to pay for this feather?
500 gold. I'll look at Randall with a kind of a not an angry look, but a like, come on, man.
And look, I'm going to take a wild stab in the dark here. You're looking to make a quick few gold pieces. Am I right?
Well, no, I wasn't. I was making sure that you had what you needed for your horse because I'll be picking up Lady later today or tomorrow morning and bringing it here. So you knowing it was Lady, him saying it was Lady, it was all too convincing. So
Well,
we were trying to help out more than gain any profit.
And how much did you lose, lass?
I think collectively, and I'll put it on my friends, 200.
And how much was I to buy this feather from you for?
500. He was going to use it to pay off some debt he had as well. We were going to get the halfling out of debt with an unsavory man named Golfa. I don't know if you've ever heard of that loan shark.
Oh, I do know Golfa as well. He is a bit of a loan shark. Not the biggest fan of the bugbear. But let me give you a little bit of history. This town is flourishing under the rulership of King Waldron Azanar. He has done wonders for the city. We have a standing militia. We have laws. We have red cloaks. We have order. We have law and order. As a result, the realm and the city has prospered. But in any city, no matter how well it's run, there's always a dark underbelly. And the Odin Bear is no exception. There's this group called the Golden Masks, and they are famous for doing cons like this. What they have on their side, which many other groups do not, is that they have doppelgangers. Are you familiar with doppelgangers, lass?
Can I make a check on what doppelgangers are?
Yeah, I was
Sure.
going to say, I mean, maybe I've heard stories.
What
but
would that be? A history?
Sure.
Or
I mean, what the player knows, but that's yeah.
I mean, yeah, I know, but I want to make sure my character knows.
I'm too tired, maybe? No, I'm not too tired. I probably know.
Well, there we go. We'll say. So, do you know what doppelgangers are, lass?
Beings that take the form of other beings. There's more other humanoids that can do the same. There's changelings and else, but I think doppelgangers are more monstrous. They're not really of us, humanoids like dwarves and goblins. They're a little more sinister, I believe.
Well, sinister. Well, they're very good at taking on other appearances. So I think you've been done by the Golden Masks, lass. I'm tempted just to call you a fool, but I think you're gonna do well enough on that on your own.
Very kind of you.
All right,
Golden
lass.
mask.
The golden
You have
mask.
something for me?
Yes. Well, yes, just in,
Lord
in
Sidewinder.
regards to Miss Ivory. The King's Games is to start in 2 days' time. If you'd be so kind, I'd like you to go to the old the Royal Stud Farm, which I'll show you on the map.
Yeah, you already gave me this information, but I'll just let you recap it if you want.
Sure. So yeah, go to the Royal Stud Farm, collect Miss Ivory, bring her back. And he also mentioned that there's some dark magic, something
Witchcraft. Yeah.
occult witchcraft happening there, but he's dismissed it as the superstitious ramblings of the simple folk. Simple folk might be a bit harsh, but simple in the way that living simple lives, like farmer types out here. It's working grains, working the mills. So simple in a good way, not simple as in lack of intelligence. All right, lass. Well, the day is getting long, unless there's anything else. And of course, there is the matter of bringing back Miss Ivory. Then there's the King's Game. And then it might be time to say some goodbyes to some of your newfound friends.
You don't have any associates other than your staff. I mean, you don't know people. I mean, you obviously know people through the city. It's the same with these. I'll continue to know them. We won't adventure maybe, but I'll continue to know them.
Oh, that's
They're not leave the city and disappear.
That's fair, but your interactions with this motley crew, which I must admit have done some amazing things in Oldenbeer, your relationships will be somewhat less. You see them a lot less. Our primary responsibility, of course, is to keep the crown safe, keep the prince safe, the princess, the king, and the queen. And I've already lost a prince under my watch, and that's one too many.
I understand, but like I said, friendships are only as much as people try to be friends too. So, people go out of their way. So we'll see. But I understand. I have a duty, and I understand that.
All right. As long as that is clear. All right. Well, I expect to see you tomorrow evening with Miss Ivory.
I'll give you that. For Lord Sidewinder.
What are you deceiving?
Oh, that I understand, and that I'm totally on board with what he's saying.
Oh, I see.
Because I mean, between me and you, just because what I'm working with my character is because I don't have a subclass yet. I'm not too sure this is the direction, you know what I mean, yet. So
Sure,
I
sure.
should be doing this, I think.
Sure. Well, things will all come to a head in a couple of days, so we'll see what happens. All right, so you leave Lord Monder's estate, 200 gold pieces lighter. What are your plans for the evening, if anything? Otherwise, we can just fast forward to tomorrow morning.
I'm going to put my arm around Randall as we're walking out, and I'll say, that was nothing if not, that was not boring at all. Thank you for the entertainment. And kind of laugh it off. Money's not a big deal, but it is. So, I understand that it is, and it's just, thank you very much for the entertainment. And kind of laugh.
Randall kind of goes and kind of hangs his head and kicks the ground over there. I always try to make a difference, but it seems to blow up in my face.
And I'll look at him and I'll say, you have a good heart, Randall. Don't change because of all the awfulness around us, and there is a lot of awfulness.
Well, my mother did say that when life throws tough things at you, always look for the opportunities to come back stronger. If anything, this maybe give me a new purpose. Shinigami.
Yes.
You realize that I am an expiring red cloak.
Yes, and you've actually been doing very well.
Would you be willing to perhaps pitch the idea to Nathaniel Rester? If I was to take down the golden mask, I could become a red cloak.
That is rather, what's the word I'm looking for? And me as a player, I totally skipped on the word I was going to use. Um, what is it when somebody um, with great aspiration, very aspiring, kind of almost too aspiring?
Insane.
With great power comes great responsibility. Are you Spider-Maning us?
No, I'm trying to, I can't think of the word that I wanted to say, but that's a noble goal, but that's a pretty big goal. But I think if we can pull it off together, then I think that would be a good marker to show where you're at and maybe be accepted for training.
We may not be able to get rid of the entire organization, but maybe if we can get the leader.
Or if we could just gather enough evidence to bring them more to light and bring more attention to them, even that would be a win.
Right. I'll get on it.
Thing I will say about what Shinigami knows that perhaps Randall doesn't is Shinigami knows the law backwards. He's spent years getting to know the law to be in a position that he can pass fair judgments on crimes. And maybe, I don't know if Shinigami feels this way, but Randall is lacking that, if nothing else. You need to know the law backwards. Keep in mind, there's 12 red cloaks total for the entire 12? I think it's 12. Not many red cloaks anyway. It's not like becoming a policeman. It's like 3 or 4 steps up from that. You know the law backwards, and you're the judge and you're the jury. So I think Randall maybe lacks that at the moment. Maybe that's what Shinigami. Do you think that's fair, Shinigami?
Yeah, like that's what I was trying to hint at when I dropped the word training.
Okay. All right. So, where do you retire to? The Lucky Leap?
Or Gorso Manor, whichever the group wants.
I wanted to go to the Emporium of Marvelous Rarities, number 14,
Okay.
if it's ready to end tonight.
Well, let's do that before we go to bed, because I think everybody's going to want to have a look at the Emporium. You just get the package for it.
Oh, and our only wizard's out of town. That's too funny. We're going to the magic shop.
There you go. All right, so the Emporium of Marvelous Rarities. You approach the shop from the outside, and there is the storefront. You see lots of people just peering in the front of the Emporium of Marvelous Rarities. There's a quick reference, a little bit of art I can share. I'll put it in Discord. It kind of looks like that. and there's a whole lot of magical items displayed in the counter, and some people just come along and have a look and see what's for sale. And um, and it's a marvelous shop inside. There's lots of things available. There's a rather bespectacled man. He's got a pair of specs, but they're hovering off his face, and he says, "Welcome to the Emporium of Marvelous Rarities. Your wish is our business. How may I serve you today?"
Gilly will walk up and say, "Hi, good to meet you, sir. I was looking for magical services, low-level magic, just to like understand languages. I have something written in a note. There's a game us nobles playing. I have a note that I can't quite understand what it says, and was hoping I could hire someone to translate it for me with magical means."
Well, we do sell scrolls. I believe a scroll of comprehend languages will do the trick for you.
Oh, that's much beyond my abilities. I'm going to be a knight, and I'm not of the magic persuasion. I was hoping I could hire someone who knows the spell here, who could cast it for me. I could come back tomorrow if prep time is needed in the morning, and I mean, like I said, paying for magic services, if as it were.
Make a persuasion check. This is not what they usually do.
All right. It'd have to be today of all days. Oh, I'm going to use a lucky
Sure.
for that.
Or
So
DM
just get one
inspiration.
die.
You got one of those.
Oh, but those don't refresh.
That's
So lucky is it? Do I roll just one die, or do I do
Just one
disadvantage
die.
again, or what do I do?
Just one die.
Wait, shit. Oh, that's much better. 14.
Actually, I think you can take the 24, can't you not?
Oh, what?
You rolled perception, Daniel, so you got to add +3 to that.
Yeah, so it's a 17, number 1.
17.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
17's a bit better.
But I think,
Okay.
isn't Lucky the one that says you can choose whatever dice roll you want?
Yeah, but I don't know how it works with advantage and disadvantage. I think it's a flat. I think it's. I always.
I usually
haven't
just
used
do
it
one.
enough.
I usually just do one extra roll because you reroll a dice. So,
Yeah, so I'll reroll one of them.
we'll call it 17. 17 will get you some. Oh, you see, sir. Sorry, ma'am. We usually charge 500 gold pieces for a scroll of comprehend languages. You seem to be in a bit of a bind. You appear you come from money. So why don't I cast a spell for you for, let's say, 200 gold pieces?
She says, "Well, I mean, thanks. I mean, I know I look nice. Thank you very much." So kind when she'll kind of like, bow, they'll make a little bow to him and go, but I don't have that much money on me right now, and I don't know if I can get that much money. I mean, can we do anything cheaper? I mean, I'm from the Lord Ronald's house, Renault. I mean, he's always looking for a new place to do business. I could recommend your shop to him as well, give you some free publicity around the nobles. I mean, like I said, we all play this game where we have notes for each other in weird languages, and we try to decipher them. And it's not like, if someone already has it memorized or knows it, they're not losing anything, and they're just gaining some money and helping a family, helping me out. And like I said, I'll give you a bunch of publicity for all the nobles. I mean, the Domerin twins, they're dumb as doorknobs. I mean, they'll be in here also asking for this kind of service maybe. You never know.
Do you wish me to lower my prices for some game between nobles? And I have people here on quest to save to save loved ones, to save, something that was stolen. But you think a game leverage to persuade me?
Well, not so much the game, but the publicity. I could give you the more business, and you can charge them and all that, and I can help with that. But if you're unbudging on your price, then I will be back tomorrow with the funds for 200. I will find a way to make it happen.
Make another persuasion check. Good way of
persuasion now.
persuading people, but disadvantage is a bitch.
Oh yeah, it totally is. Oh, how many lucky points do I have? I'll be able to get that, I think. Yeah, I'm not going to waste another lucky point, so it is what it is there. 7.
All right, we'll see you good tomorrow, sir. And if you're interested in any more of our services, we have a few things for sale. Here, I'll provide you a brochure and you can peruse at your leisure. And I just posted what you can buy from this magic shop in Discord.
Oh. I'm trying to be. Everyone's a jerk, Malcolm. I'm like nice and friendly, and everyone's an ass. The city's doing well. Yeah, I'm sure it is.
Yeah, there's pricey stuff there, but some cool stuff as well, right? Like an ironstone, that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
5,000 gold pieces. All right. So Gorso Manor, Ronald Manor.
I need to go to Ronald Manor for sure. I mean, I'll talk to my cousin, and yeah.
Okay. So we just say for tonight, just for simplicity's sake, we'll stay at Ronald Manor. That's okay with the Ronalds?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so Primal is there. Oh, hi, Gayla.
Oh, hi, Prilla. How you been?
Oh, I'm okay. Just getting ready for the King's Games, getting a bit of extra training in.
Oh, you're going to participate in the King's Games this year?
Oh, of
I
course.
didn't know you did.
Of course.
Apparently I will be too, but I'm not sure how that's all going to happen. I'm going to let it happen as it happens, as I do. I'm just not going to worry about it until we get there.
Of course. Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah, I was hoping I have a note that's in a weird language that I can't figure out what it means. And I was talking to the salesman at the Emporium Marvelous Rarities, and they'll translate it for me, but I don't have enough money at the moment. I was hoping I could borrow some from you, or you maybe, are returning it in the next couple of weeks, or I'm not sure. I'll get money from being part of the Crown's Guard, I'm sure, so I'll be able to pay you back. But I don't have it
Of
up front.
course. How much do you need?
200 gold is what I need, and what's that?
Of course. Of course.
Oh, fantastic.
I know you're good for it, right?
Oh yeah, we've known each other since we were, way little. I mean, I would come into the town and often enough. My father wanted to get me out of all the townspeople when I was, always running away. He would bring me into the city, and I'd stay here as almost like punishment, even though it's nice here, nicer than the castle I grew up in. Sometimes that castle, it brings back bad memories of Mom, and I like to get out of it.
Of course, of course. This is a shopkeep, by the way. Just found him. Drunner Baleguard. He's the shopkeep who's charging you that money.
Okay.
Okay, so you have your 200 gold pieces. We'll wait till morning,
Thank
I
you.
guess. Vinnick. Are you there, Mr. Vinnick?
Unmuting. Yes, I'm here.
Come to voice channel 2 with me, if you'd be so kind, Mr. Vinnick.
Right.
All right, so you're hunting again, huh?
Yes. Yep. Want to keep those desires down and manageable.
Very good. So what's your plan?
So when we go back to whatever manor we decide,
Yep.
after everybody goes to sleep, I would like to try to stealthily sneak away and go to where I think I might be able to find some small vermin again and partake.
Well, last time you went to the Sea Gate, if you remember.
And that's still pretty close, right? From the map, didn't it look like it was close to where we're currently at, or no?
You're right in the middle of the city. You're right here. And the Sea Gate's
Sorry, I'm on
right
screen.
here.
I have to toggle back between the thing. Okay, let me get rid of the.
Sea Gate's right on the eastern edge of the map. near
Okay.
52. BC 52. Like right here.
Got it. Got it. Yep. I see. Okay. All right. So, so that shouldn't take me too long to be able to go, unless I feel like there's a alleyway and some whatever that's like closer.
Well, first you got to sneak
But I
out
think
of the mansion.
Mhm.
Um,
I know.
now, you're exhausted, which isn't help, but on the other hand, people are asleep. So I'm just going to treat this as a straight stealth roll.
Okay.
And you could privately roll me a stealth roll. Do you know how to do that?
I don't know.
Okay,
Sorry.
tell it. I sort of get everybody else suspicious. But type that into roll 20. Oops, sorry, not 20. Type that into roll 20.
Okay, so let's say /GR space
Game
D20,
master.
and that will be a private
Yep.
roll.
Yep. I'll
Okay.
only see those up. And you, of course. 16. Now, what's your stealth bonus?
Let me go back to that screen. Actually, I don't think I have a stealth bonus. I think. Oh, I do. Oh, yeah, +3.
+3. Okay. You managed to sneak out. That's a pretty good roll. If you remember last time, Randall managed to spot you and followed you down to the sea gate. But this time you managed to sneak out of Ronald Manor. And we'll say with that roll, you can sneak back in later on as well. When everybody's asleep
Nice.
and it's just servants to dodge and they don't really care, to be honest. They're not paid to care. And so where are you off to, Vinnick?
So I will go down to the docks, like you had pointed to near 52 there. So I'm gonna sneak down to that spot. And this is dark, and so I'm gonna be watching because it's not just my party, right? I don't want people thinking that thinking ill of me, I guess you would say, right? So,
Sure.
so I will try to make my way down there and go into some dark alleyway or something where I found the rats before.
Sure. So do you want to make another private roll to me? Do another GRD 20, and we'll make this a survival check. Let's make that private roll to me again.
GR space D 20. Okay, I think this is private. Uh-oh.
And what's your survival modifier?
Let me look real quick. I think it's a 4. Yes. Still not very good, but yeah, that's what I got. So,
Okay. One more private roll. Because you'd find
Right.
one, but it takes you hours and hours of chasing around rats, and you might end up with a point of exhaustion. You will find a rat,
Right.
but it might be more trouble than it's worth.
Okay. So let's see. So I'm sorry, you said one more
One
D20
more private
roll?
roll. Yep.
Okay.
This is your Constitution saving throw.
/GR space D20. Okay, here we go.
And what's your con modifier?
15. I'm looking real quick here.
Con save. Con save.
Con save would be +4.
Okay, so it takes you 4 or 5 hours to chase a rat down. It's gone terribly, but eventually you catch a live rat and partake in the live rat.
Yes.
And you will wake up with just your stress points, whatever they're called, just at maximum. So you're good. And you sneak back into the house, and yeah, it's all good. Things have gone well tonight, Finnick. Okay.
Awesome.
All right.
Phoenix, good. Thank you.
Let's
All right.
bounce back.
All right.
How you know? Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if you would ever be able to figure that out.
All right. You wake up in the morning. Everybody's well rested, so feel free to remove that point of exhaustion. Things are looking rosy. And you're expected to go retrieve Miss Ivory from the grounds.
But in the morning, we're going to stop at the shop and pay the 200.
Sure. So we'll just cut straight to the chase. This was for the... What was it for, Dan?
There was a language. I had heard a voice that lured me into an alleyway, and on the alleyway wall there was something written that I copied down on a note on a piece of paper in a language that none of us knew. And
Yep.
I haven't asked to move around the city yet, but it's just I figured this would be the fastest way of figuring it out.
It translates to that.
Okay. Find the hideout at the top. Okay. I'll look at everybody. I'll show this to everybody, and I'll be like, and I'll scratch my head and see if anyone else, if that makes sense to anyone else. I don't think so.
Not from the city. I can't make heads or tails of that.
Shimigami, anything like that ring a bell to you? Randall, you've been here a long time.
It doesn't sound anything that we've heard anything in the shanties.
Malcolm, is there something you want me to roll to see if I do?
Sure, what a history.
I'm also in that too, so I'll assist you in that. I can give you
Sure.
advantage because I'm proficient in it.
Just roll again, Shinigami. Well, the old wall, as I think I've said before, was the original wall where the Dark Angels ruled the land. So this was the entirety of Oathbreaker during their rule. And the old wall has a dark and strange history. I mean, you saw this in our first session in the Alley of Menace when those gnolls went crazy and started attacking people. That was old wall related. So many people swear they see the old wall shifting every now and then, like bricks getting bigger and smaller and other bricks adjusting accordingly. You think, Shinigami, this is a literal clue. You found writing on the side of the wall, and it says, find the hideout of the top. So maybe it means the top of the wall. You also know, Shinigami, as the rest of you doing, climbing the old wall is considered very bad. Because that's where the nobles live, and they want to keep the riffraff out. So, that's what you deduce.
Interesting. That's something that for a later time when we have pressing matters, we need to see if we can find clues about your brother Randall, and also while we're down head south, pick up Simonder's horse. If I'm correct, that it was gone south, right, Randall?
Yes. The only thing I can imagine that he mentioned was going to someone that apparently would respect what he had to think or had to say.
What did he have to say? Or respect? What was needed? What was needed?
Well, my brother has a twisted sense of, shall we say, anything is necessary if it puts food on the table.
Well, that's a trait that's valuable to have to some people. Do whatever it takes to get the job done.
There's a way that most people in the shanties basically live. If you don't steal, you probably don't eat. I was once actually, and he'll kind of like one of the guilty ones as well. That's one reason why, other than the fact that I hail from the shanties, that most people in the noble district doesn't want anything to do with me.
That's just it's unfortunate. That's how cities and this kind of stuff is set up. There's not You're born into what you're born into. You have sometimes no choice, and it's you know it's how it's always been. I can't apologize for it. I'm sorry that it happens, but that's hollow. I know.
No, no matter. I have come to peace with it. After stealing some items from some of the noble houses, my mother, whatever she was into, decided that she didn't want that life for me. She talked to me, and I basically returned the items that I stole. However, I still have the reputation that I have today.
Just lost Gala.
Lord up for the rest of you guys, though.
Oh, there we go. Lost you there for a second, Daniel.
I apologize. My mic or something freaked out. I just had hissing and static as soon as last thing I said. So I'm sorry.
That's no problem. Basically, long and short of it, he admitted that he used to steal, and his mother's the one that wanted a different way of life for him, a different mentality. So, out of conscience, he actually returned the items that he stole, but still gives him the reputation of a thief, especially in the noble district.
It's a hard life you've had. Hopefully things will turn out better now. I know you're going for the red cloak. You're hoping we get your debt paid off, and we can then help your family, and you can raise your station hopefully.
It's quite an upward steed. You don't have to worry with troubling yourselves. And he looked at the rest of them, of pulling me out of the situation. I'll just keep on swinging, so to speak. Keep on marching forward.
No, and I understand. And it's no being a noble is no it's no picnic either. They're catty, they're awful, they're petty. I mean, I've dealt with it all my life, and it's never been a pleasure. I mean, my own family. You've seen my uncle and how he regards me, and how the Ranger Rowan, how there's no respect for me and my own family. So much so that it's hard to say, but my uncle is promised me to the kingdom. I mean, I don't have any choice in the matter. Like Lord Simander, he was born, and every first son of his line is promised to the king. He had no say in what he's doing. He's embraced it, but my uncle is, through my own, what he perceives as childishness, or trying to, make me not make me his family ashamed of me, or make a spectacle. They're selling me off to the crown against my will, and if I say no against it, it's I believe a jailable offense. I mean, it's a promise from one noble house to the kingdom of the fealty, and I can't get out of that, and I'm trapped myself in something that I don't perceive how to get out of.
Randall kind of actually takes back a little bit and processes that even as prominent as nobles are, that they still suffer from a very similar circumstances of sometimes their fate is out of their hands.
And it's my uncle strictly wants favor with the crown. I mean, he's trying to up his house and up the standings of the house, and I'm the collateral for that. Ever since when my mother died, my uncle and my father schemed and planned, and she pauses and stops and says, shakes her head and goes, anyways, it's I understand that sometimes you're trapped in what you're in, and things seem bleak, but it's having met all of you and knowing that there are still good people, in the red cloaks, in the shanties, looking over at Bass in the and she won't say your house name, she'll say and she'll stop and say, in Bass's situation, there is still goodness. And she'll look at Bass and go, but we really need to talk about your fascination with blood, my friend.
Well, I don't really recall much of what you're talking about.
Anyways, it's nice to know that I have people that I can count on, because when I enter into my servitude, I I don't know who I could trust. I don't know if Lord Simonder's even good. I don't know. We've met, and she'll look around. She who shall not be named a few times, and I'll be protecting the likes of that. And I need good counsel from all of you.
Well, I can't offer much, but if you ever need anything, I'll always lend a sword. I can at least get your back.
Some of your morality too would be helpful, and she'll look at Shmigani and your obedience to the law and what is correct. And then Venick and oh so young but still wise Venick. I'll need you as well.
We're here for you.
You guys are so nice. It's great.
All
right. Well, feeling connecting a little bit more, you're feeling a bit better about yourselves and going on this task for Lord Simonde for the Miss Ivory for the King's Games, which is now technically happening tomorrow. So a lot of decisions for Gala to make, but you feel more empowered to make them. You guys can level up to level 5.
Ooh.
Level 5.
Select. Tutorial, man.
All right. Well, I'll be the first to roll. I'm gonna try to beat Doug to it, or my hit die. Yes.
Oh.
I am so scared to do this from what I rolled on a Tuesday. All right, but we'll do it. Okay, I'm happy with a 4. I'm happy with 4. That's half of 8. That's good. That's good.
32. 9. What's my hit point modifier?
Shinigami, you gonna roll or take the middle road?
Middle road.
Nope, I'm going to take the middle road because next level I'm going to multi-class.
Okay.
I'm going to take the middle road too. Last time I rolled, I got pretty good. So I'm going to. I don't like my rolls so far today. I'm going to hold.
I get a
Hold the
new
line.
invocation, and since I'm Hexblade, I get to do this like a real melee class can.
Yeah, that's the big thing I get too.
But say I get it as well.
Well, 5th is quite a notable level, right? Like fighters generally get the 2nd attack, and spell users
Yep.
generally get 3rd level spells. So
Yep, it's a big deal.
Oh, our proficiencies went to +3, so change your passive perceptions in roll 20.
Randall 20. Look at you.
I only get like 4 spells. I need a subclass so I can get more spells. Some more known spells. Oh my god, per day. Terrible.
Actually, it might. Yep, it is 20. Yep.
Just a
And when we get out there, Malcolm, we'll be casting Find Steed, just so you know. I can summon a horse that lasts indefinitely. Blah, blah, blah. So I'll have a horse.
Yep, okay. Cool. Do you want to come up with some AI art for me for your mount? We can do it that way.
Oh, I'll totally do that, 100%. And we won't give it a name just yet. Give me a few minutes to think of a name. I should have done that already. I've been planning this for forever.
Sure. Well, while the rest of the peasants walk to the royal stud farm, Gala will be riding her to-be-named steed. Okay, so I think everybody's leveled up. And Jeff, you're clear on what I said? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay, good. And we've lost Gala again. Okay.
I'm
So
real
you-
quick, Malcolm. I might be popping in and out. My Discord, I have to shut it down. It keeps screaming at me occasionally. So if I disappear, just ignore it, and I'll be back in as soon as
Okay.
it loads. So
Okay, cool. So I assume you're getting a war horse, right?
yes.
Okay, so we'll just say for now, Gala summons your warhorse and proceeds south. Okay, as you leave the town centre for Odenbeer, you head south along well-travelled roads. A lot of them fork off suddenly into various farming districts. The Odenbeer plains and this areas to the south of Odenbeer are very much the breadbasket of the kingdom. The grains and everything are grown out here. A lot of fishing done by Ronald's End, which Gala would know. That's where Ronald's has made their money with their mercantile navy. And you approach the Royal Stud Farm. Mr. Passive Perception Randall will be the first to notice this. As you kind of crest over a hill and get 300-400 feet away from the Royal Stud Farm, you notice that the Royal Stud Farm is on fire.
Dear, it's on fire.
Hmm.
Quickly. And Randall starts like picking up the pace and like
Quickly what? Quickly what? What are we gonna do? Pee on it?
Exactly.
There might be
There may be some people trapped. We can always get them out.
the horse
Sucks
trap,
for them.
and then I'll put my arm out to anyone who's going to grab, like Venick. I'm going to put my arm out to Venick to put him on the horse to take off fast. Venick, you take my arm,
I do take your arm.
and then I'm going to bolt with the horse to that direction.
Okay, so
I can take at least one person, right? I can't take two.
just one, yeah. I think that just makes sense for a horse. I can't imagine 3 on a horse. Though I can only imagine 2 on a motorcycle, and I've seen 5-6 people on a motorcycle in the Philippines. That's always fun. There's always a little kid perched on the handlebars. It's quite the sight. Anyway, so you get onto your to-be-named steed and you start galloping towards the Royal Stud Farm. One thing you notice, we'll say Venick, as Gala is putting her her steed into full speed. You notice, about 50 so feet away from the Royal Stud Farm, you see the corpse of a human soldier. It's dressed only in leather armor and lies in a pool of blood in front of the Rummelin estate. Can you make me a medicine check, please, Venick, as you just glance at this person?
Yes, just let me pull that screen up real quick. I have one screen tonight. Character.
I did. It's in a pool of blood, Bess.
Okay, I'm sorry. You said perception? What am I looking?
Medicine.
Oh, medicine.
Yeah, there's a soldier in a pool of blood just outside the Royal Stud Farm, and you can't say whether he's alive or not. You don't know whether he's savable or not. Too hard on the back of Gala's horse.
Okay. So I go. Oh, there was a fallen soldier. I couldn't tell if he was alive or not. I think we should press on.
So say we'll make note to come back for sure. Or I don't know if the people behind us can't hear. I don't have any sending magic, so just have to. I'm thinking as a player. We'll have to double back. We know that there will be those to be saved at the stud farm.
Okay,
Yes, of course.
urging on your horse, you continue on, and obviously going to get to the stud farm first. But the rest of you, those people on foot, you do come across the same scene as well. This body, a human soldier dressed in armor in a pool of blood. If you want to stop and examine the body, feel free. Otherwise,
Yeah.
Yep.
I will. Randall will stop.
Okay, so grind to a halt. Make me a medicine check. So, dead. It's dead. The other thing you notice is he was killed. It's a he. It was killed with a slashing weapon. And what you further get from the medicine check is surely the wounds would have had kind of closed by now. Like while he's dying, there's still some immune system kind of closing it up, but he seems to have bled an unnatural amount. Like usually when you kill someone, they sort of just clam up, but this person
clot.
Yeah, clot. There's no clotting. It's just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding. Hence the pool of blood.
This is odd. There was an attack, but this seems unnatural.
It does have that unnatural vibe about it. Okay, so Gala and Vinnick continue to charge on to the Royal Stud Farm. You stop for just a second to try and hear like screams or anything from people inside, but you don't hear anything. But you do hear the wild whinnies of horses. There's horses, and you kind of gallop around to the barn side of the estate, and the barn, the horse stables is ablaze, and you hear panicked horses inside. Gala, Vinnick, what do you do?
Dismount. I'll say, Fennec, help me with the door.
Absolutely. I jump off in kind of a Starsky and Hutch kind of cool move to try, even though I'm not very familiar with horses that much, right? Yeah. Okay,
so the doors are not ablaze yet, but you think soon. So why don't you both if one of you is proficient in athletics, and you can roll it at just both of you make athletics rolls. We'll do it that way. Both of you make athletics rolls.
Okay.
I'll use a lucky on mine.
Tonight are low. It takes you a moment or two longer than you'd hoped, but eventually Gala pushes forward, and immediately a burst of flames erupts from the stable. And Vinnick, you take 5 points of damage, and Gala takes 1 point of damage. And Vinnick did level up. Everybody's level 5 now. And you see that the blaze, it's all happening.
I'll bring a cloth up to my mouth to breathe through the cloth, and I'll start rushing in to bring the horses out with the sword out to cut ropes and do all that good stuff.
And Vinnick?
He just
He just lost.
Just yeeted Vinnick. Okay, we'll see what Vinnick does. Hopefully he'll come back. Maybe it's motel Wi-Fi issues. Oh, Vinnick! Welcome back, Vinnick.
Roll new character.
Sorry, I had a tech issue. I'm back again.
So, Gala's put a cloth on her mouth and rushed into the stables. Do you rush in with her?
Not knowing better, I'm like, oh, that seems like a great idea. So I put a cloth to my mouth and run in after her.
Okay, you push forward and you see the horses are absolutely panicked and maniacal. You can try and... What do you do? Horses are panicked.
Are they tied up? Are they in enclosures, like in pens?
More in a pen. They're not tied up as such, but they're in a pen.
I'll say, Vinnick, I'm going to jump in the pen. You open it, and I'll try to shoo them through.
There are two horses.
You get the pen open, and I'm going to jump over the gate and try to rush them in towards
Sure,
Vinnick.
there's two horses here. There's a black one and a white one. Which one do you go for?
The white one. I'm going to assume is Miss Ivor. Whichever one looks like a female, which would probably be the white one, I'm assuming.
Couldn't comment. So, to try and leap over this pin is not the easiest thing. It is quite high. But so make me an athletics check.
And
Yeah, you kind of you get through, but you're going to take another 2 points of fire damage as you singe it. And Vinnick, you're springing open the pin.
Yes, sir.
So swing. So there's in theory, a way for if it is Miss Ivory, to get out.
I'll go something else on fire and wave the fire to shoo them in that direction to get out towards where Vinnick's at.
Sure, make me an animal handling check.
Oof. Roll.
Yeah, Miss Ivory is just panicking, not going anywhere, and the fire burns in your attempt. Gala 6, Venik 2 points of fire damage.
I'm gonna. Vinnick is gonna yell whatever I need to do to convey. I don't know if it's so loud that I need to yell, but I'm gonna say, put a cloak over her eyes. Try that.
Okay. I'll try to do that. I'll try to take up my cloak and with animal handling again, maybe with advantage, with help from Venik to try to calm her, to lead her out.
Well, let's see if you manage to get the hood on her first. Why don't you make me, I'll say acrobatics, to try and just perfectly throw it over her head. And if you do that, you can get advantage.
16.
Oh, yep, you managed to get it, and she's not as panicked anymore. So you can make another animal handling check. You can do so at advantage.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna do a lucky with that one. I think.
Okay.
Need to get this horse out of here. Come on, horsey. 16.
16 is enough. The horse and just gallops straight out of there, across into the fields next to the Royal Stud Farm. But it'll take you time to do this. Gala, 5 points of fire damage. Venik, 4 points of fire damage. And there's
We
still
gotta get out of here, Gala.
still one more horse in there.
Okay, I'm sorry. Did Gala go out with the horse,
No.
or just shoot it out?
You effectively scared it out almost. Like what? Yeah, it maybe give it a good slap on the rump, something like that, and just bolted out of it. So you and Gala are still both in this stable ablaze, and there's one horse that's just almost maniacal.
So seeing how Gala very effectively did what she did, I'm going to take my cloak and attempt to throw it over the next horse.
Okay, acrobatics.
You said it was acrobatics?
Yeah, just to time it just right, so the cloth goes over the thing's eyes. And yes, absolutely, 17 is enough.
All right, and then animal handling to coax it
Yep.
out. Is that what you said next?
Yep, to animal
And
handling
is it
and
advantage or not?
The advantage with the cloak over its head.
Oh! Did that come up? Did you guys see that?
Nope.
It's weird.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 19.
Well, I'll take your word for it. Absolutely. So that the last horse gets and bolts out of the stables. Not before Gala takes another 2, and Venik takes another 5 points of fire damage. And I see no reason to stay there, so you just rush out. Kind of
Okay, good.
tap yourself
I was
down.
feeling
for
very
this one.
stench, Gala.
She'll take a breath and she'll look around. She'll like yes, and she'll look around and try to hear if the sounds of people crying or anything else. And is only the stables on fire and not the houses and stuff?
Everything's ablaze. The house and stables.
Look around at the houses and point to the houses and start going to the houses and see if we can hear anything.
Hey, by this time, everybody else has arrived. So Gala's looking around. What's the rest of you doing?
Bass is not a snide snicker, but kind of an amused snicker seeing Gala and Venik burned, and we told you, rushing didn't do much good. Now did it?
I'll motion to the 2 horses in the field. They'd be dead if it wasn't for us, and maybe there's someone in the house. Maybe you could be more useful than Snide. Bass, is there anyone in the house you can see?
Can I make a perception check to see if I can hear anybody, any kind of like...
Anybody? Yeah, sure. Anybody who wants to circle around the houses, see if you can spot anybody alive. Anybody's just make a perception check for me.
Now,
random.
I don't know if this matters, Malcolm, but I have 120 feet of dark vision that can see through magical darkness. So does that let me see anybody through the smoke?
So we'll do it at advantage. We'll do it that way. But I think Shinigami's
Okay.
got this.
Yep. I can't be. Yeah, mine's a 0, so 20 would be highest I could go.
Okay. So you'll frantically search around the house. Shinigami, with your training in the red cloaks, you immediately scan through the house, and you're pretty sure that no one is. If there were people in there, they're dead. It's like the main farmhouse was set ablaze first, and then the blaze went and caught the stable. So the main house is just an inferno. So anybody who was alive in there is dead. But you do loop around Shinigami just to get a full view of what's going on. And you see some barrels kind of outside of what would be the kitchen. And one of the barrels, you swear, moves just a little bit. Shuffles a little bit and then rights itself and balances itself. That's what you notice, Shinigami.
Well, I am going to telekinetically shove it then.
Okay. So you shove this barrel. I don't know if you can feel the weight, but you do feel some weight in it through the telekinetic shove. And the barrel tips over. A whole bunch of water splashes out, as obviously a water barrel. And a man comes out of the barrel as well. You look at him, he looks at you, and he looks as if he's wearing servant clothes. He's like, I'm sorry. I don't want nothing to do with you. Just leave me be. Don't take me as well. I'm nobody. I'm a nobody. Leave me.
Who are you and why are you here?
Well, my name's. You know with the coat, are you?
Do you not know someone of the red cloak?
Sorry, it's been a bit of a shit of a day, to be honest. My name's Jig, and I'm the house cook here. I'm a coward. I hid for safety. Can I go?
You hid for safety from what?
There was this lady called the Countess, called herself the Countess Unpura Maritail. And she was accompanied by some hired thugs, I guess is a better thing to call it, and some creepy figures in dark hoods. And Lord Romulan, like bless his heart, he welcomed them into his home. But things went bad. These people in dark clothes and the Countess and the ruffians, they took the lord of the manor, the baroness, and the young child, and they took them to a mill. And I should have done better. I should have saved them, but I'm a coward, and they've just been taken to the old mill. I don't know why. I'm a coward.
I'm looking to see if if I feel like he's telling the truth.
Sure.
I rolled an 11.
That was a perception, which is why I'm still staring at it. So what would insight be? You rolled a 10.
Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah, insight. Wow.
Yeah.
Could you just use the first row and just add 3 to it?
Let's say it's a 14 because you did roll a 10.
Yeah.
Yeah. You believe him. But like I said, I'm a coward. But blessings to you for saving my life. I'd be sitting. I'd be taken too. A Redeemer bless you. But you have to help Master Romulan and his kin before these monsters murder them. Please. They're over there in the mill in the old grinder. Please save the master.
Did they say why they were here? What were they coming for?
I don't know. That I can't tell you, sir. Please help Master Romulan. Please.
Was anybody in the home when it was set ablaze?
Just me and the family. So nobody's to be saved from the inside. It's just the master, me, and the Baroness and the young child. Please hurry.
All right, we'll find yourselves someplace safe while we look into this. I'll go back to the group. So I found the cook, and apparently the family was taken by some rather well-armed folks to a mill. There's nobody in the house.
Did he mention anything about the weapons they were using? You said well-armed.
No, it just sounded like there were quite a few of them. Some were in hoods. So, I mean, I'm making grand assumptions right now, but perhaps that's who waylaid those other bodies. So if they were able to do that, because out of character, those guys were wearing armor that got slaughtered, right?
Leather armor. Yep.
So, I mean, they weren't unskilled, to say the least, to do that, kidnap these folks, set it ablaze.
I would not exercise caution as well. The wounds on the soldier that I checked out was different than most. It may be due to a weapon that they have. Maybe some magic?
Well, if I were playing my other character, I could detect that, but I can't. Perhaps Toriel could if she wasn't working on her tan. Can anybody else detect magic or is skilled in identifying items that may be of more than normal nature?
Vedic says, no, I do not believe I possess any ability to do such.
All right, well, I guess we'll just use our best judgment. Let's go check out this windmill and see if we can get to the bottom of this.
Before we do that,
Yep.
Hold on. Kayla, Vinnick, you guys look terribly hurt. Can you come here for a minute?
Yes.
And all of a sudden, for the first time, you've seen Randall whip out a healer's kit.
Nice.
And to each of you, real quickly, to Vinnick. And you need to add 5 to that. So that is 13 points of healing to you.
Awesome. Thanks, Randall.
And to Gala. And add 5 to that.
Took
Men
the
of
healer
many
feat?
skills.
You took the healer feat,
Yep,
Randall?
I did take the healer feat.
I think one thing to note about this, you can do it once per character per day, right? So Gala or Phoenix.
Short rest. Every
Short rest. Short rest. Okay. All right. So with the healing along the way, bag of tricks
To
from
my steed, I can communicate with up to a mile away. I'm going to look at my steed and tell it, so you can communicate telepathically, to keep an eye on Ivory and the other horse and corral them together and keep them close by and
Sure.
follow. So she's going to help it watch the horses.
Sure. Gala's off. All right. So, you approach Old Grinder, the mill. And that's what it looks like. Let me know if you can't see it. So there's an entrance down the bottom here. And while it's not shown on the map, there's 2 windows kind of up above the level. You're about 100 feet away from it. What do you do?
Also, Orin will disappear with the horse too. He won't be with us on the map. To keep an eye on the horse. There you go.
Sure.